Hello, everyone. It's Philip here from Everyday Carry, Canada. Today's show is basically going to be very simple. We're talking about gear selection in today's market, and if just to do a little channel update, page update, group update. Um, you saw a review I did a couple days ago. Um, was on this little top light Amazon special. Um, it is like $21, $23 now. When I got it, was like $21, so it's not a bad little deal. It works well. Rechargeable battery on it. What else can I say about it? Light overall. But yeah, today's episode will talk about how I choose gear. It's going to be individual for each one of us, every one of us, which is always we all have our own little preferences on like blade steels, cup ergonomics, stuff like that. Let's pull up one knife that I swear by it. It is so underrated. It's one of the most underrated knives out there in the EDC world. I say it's about 30 times undervalued, 30 times more. I've never had a rap sheet. Used it, and it's just simple task. It's a little bitter task, and it's this Ford has it. So what made me choose this knife over, let's say, a Spyderco or CRPT product or CVV product or another one of those fine products? You know what? My hands are weird. Plus, I have a kind of problem. My strong dominant hand, I need that comfort in the grip, so I don't cause fatigue in my hand. The one is it is a friction folder. So purchase and uh, lockability is really not an issue. It's just how you hold it in your hand is what locks it, which is good. Most of the time you're cutting, you're up like that, which is keep forcing the blade in the lock position, to its position, so it's not going to come loose on you. If you're doing this, of course, it's going to come loose on you. Uh, lightweight, the weight of this thing is beautiful. I mean, it's probably about 2-3 ounces of weight. So it's pretty decent overall. We got more details in a little review episode with Sport Canada, person runs Sport Canada, distribution for Sport Canada. Also has its own little family mill business out in the Ottawa Valley area region. So he's good. This is one we'll talk about more. How I select it too. It's comfort. It's that. I'll show you this guy too. It's same basic thing, but it's more of a customized to more suited for my hands. I did the handle myself. It's same basic model. It's the same model, same blade length. Overall, it's just a cherry wood handle that I kind of filed and manipulated to my own personal grip. So this is kind of should be my main one compared to the factory, but I prefer to carry that one. This one's more for dress or have more. You guys will have like one of those. Boom. This is okay. Customize it. Pattern on it. My little design. So yeah. Choosing the gear. It's always one of those things that it's very personal. So like I was always a big when I got to EDC world, Spyderco was one of the companies I absolutely wanted every single one of their knives. I still do. They're great. This is the Tenacious, the trusty tried true Spyderco Tenacious family. This is the first one they put out of the family, I believe. This one I've made a few modifications to it, obviously, but how I chose this knife initially, years back in 2013-ish, 2012, 2013-ish, was it's the shape of the blades, all that. It's the handle is good. Even the plot was complex. I deleted the clip on this one due to just, well, yes, I was not digging the clip anymore. It was not a deep pocket carry, which I kind of do prefer. So that comes to the next point when it comes to knives. If it has a clip, what type of clip is it? Sometimes that's not a deal breaker. For me, it's not really. It depends on how it feels in my hand. The grip was very good. I kind of removed the texture because it was just sort of. I just didn't like it just felt a little rough on my hands. So it's like, okay, I kind of want to force the wear, make it a little more smoother for my personal taste. I did it. So it's a little, always a good one. That how I what I like about the Tenacious this fat line of knives from Spyderco. Um, Steel's decent. It's not the best steel out there. And that comes to any knife. It's from steels. So you play S35, VG10, M390, D2, and on and on and on. I'm not a steel snob. I was like, give me a D2, give me a 1095, 1084, give me a 40 done right. I'll use it. Do an episode. We get find the new host. We're kind of doing a few things not right now. Is we're looking. I'm looking. We're going to be talking. We'll get to know you off air, off not live. We're just going to do a little tester type of deal to see how it flows, how we can make the show flow with each other. So I news coming out that shortly, maybe probably next couple few days on that issue. But there's gear, there's all sorts of gear. You have knives, multi-tools, lights, pens, notepads, bags, the whole 9 yards. I mean, you saw me on the other cast that I was doing before this one. I showed you the last episode I did actually too. A shitty bird. My carry baits for my job site type where I go to help people out type of deal. Just little light duty stuff. Like, okay, I'm just there to basically be technical support half the time. I don't work on it. Plus, I'm helping somebody with a classic car right now. And I'll have to look at it just a little bit and try to figure something out that I haven't told with me. I need them with me, so I have to pull something off it or troubleshoot it, which I'm in process and I'm overthinking the problem, which good chance, yes, I am. But yeah, okay, yeah. Factors that I look for is, like I said, comfort in the hand, the grip of the knife. Okay, this here. When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, that doesn't look very comfortable or usable." But if I ever see a picture on a website or whatever, would I kind of be interested in buying it? Not really. Uh, so yeah, it's a hell of a comfort. Surprisingly, it's a quite comfortable grip on it. Grips on the grip. So it's a nice comfort button flipper, a lock flipper. That's Brian T. Tattoo, and it's not too bad. Okay, blade shape. I like the drop point. I like the Spyderco blade shape. I don't know why the clove leaf blade shape. Don't ask me why. It's just something. It's a traditional thing. Like very traditional blade shape. Not just one of them. I mean, I like Norman designs, Europe, Central European designs type of deal. So my favorite peasant is actually a German design from the 1620s, 1600s. So when I saw that, I was kind of oh, interesting. That caught my interest. So it's a very traditional friction bolt. How when it comes to flashlights, people say lights. lights should be carried. I have basically three different flashlights here today. One, I, it needs to be retired. It's just battered up, battered up and abused in its life, which is the Fenix LD20. Actually, the button, the actuator here doesn't work. The button doesn't work on it, so I need to contact Manics and get a replacement tab for it. And yeah, there we go. It works as a twist light, and now it's not working. That's why I need to replace it. Find an ETL stock for it. The other fence I have is the little E15. This is the first generation E15. I remember when I first started getting flashlights, buying the high quality flashlights, the Fenixes and stuff like that. I bought these were 25, $30 a piece, and I bought about 10 of them. So, and they were for Christmas gifts. I just said, you know what? I always said my sister got it. I want for my sister, one for my mom, one for my couple of my friends, my dad, one of my uncles. And the improvements on this now is there's a rechargeable battery, CR123F battery. I have the actual battery number now because I'm not fully up to speed with the flashlights anymore. I just lost track. I just really have the time to keep up. There is a battery for it from that it's rechargeable. There's a new version of this too. With it comes out, and you can apparently plug into USB-C right into it, which is a great design feature. And a lot of that's what I'm noticing with the flashlights now. I've been checking on them. Is they're going that route. They're going to the more of the rechargeable route overall. Which, you know what, I'm not big on the rechargeable flashlights. So yeah, like this guy comes with a rechargeable battery. I have the charger here. What it also comes with is this little piece here to put three. So you can still have if the you can always have a few AAA's on hand for especially some of the gear you require AAA's. So like some GPS use AAA cell batteries or any other device that use it. You always have spares on hand, so have this preloaded with three, so you can pop or replace it and throwing things around again. So yeah, it's one of those aspects of it that yeah, it's to do it. So it's put it back like you normally do it with triple batteries. Um, there's other factors of what I look at, especially for let's say for a knife. Okay, it's I get berated for the more. My two main things are functionality is my main one, but also ergonomics in the form of it. So if I showed you with the tenacious, I'll bring it back out for you. To me, the tenacious has the line of it from the tip of the blade back. It has that flow. That's what I like to see. I like that flow. I mean, a knife should have kind of a mixture to me of artistic line, a nice clean line. And I get berated. I was literally attacked because I was like, oh, yeah, okay, well, everybody's subjective. You buy your knife you want. Okay. Uh, well, actually, I don't have the knife handy right now. This is not mine. This is roommates. But it's the Buck 279 Alpha Hunter, an older model from Buck. And I mean, we were talking about this last night. And I pointed out what I liked with the knife and what I didn't like with the knife. just by quick handling it, nice, smooth, well taken care of. It's apparently I'm the only one that's ever sharpened it for him. It was over a year ago. So that's one thing. He's doesn't not a hard user of his knives. Um, uh, well, here's the knife that I was never too sure. It's a nice slicer. It's a BB Hooligan. The lines are there, comfort's there, good ability. It's coming for me, which is important. So it takes consideration my issue in the hand. Um, yeah, the lines are actually quite there. Nice lines. Handles decent. Grip, the scales are decent on it. Nice, not really aggressive texture, which is important for me. Blade is a D2, I believe, if I remember correctly. It's a good slicer, durable. The liner lock is amazing on it, which is another factor to look at. It's a liner lock like this style knife. Is how thick is this liner lock? This piece that's actually locking the blade in place. It's a hard balance. I've noticed a lot of companies it's a hard balance. Because that 279 Alpha Hunter, I find it's way too thin and to me it's too flimsy. But it's a beefy knife all the way around. So I think what Buck was trying to do was try to save weight, but it's like that. It's just one of those things. Um, but yeah, that's a couple areas to look at. I'm not going to get into the customs too much on the show. We're not going to. I'm going to try and not talk too much about customs too much because they're usually generally a one-off. They're not going to be exactly the same. Um, Regardless of seeing if they're machine done or the guy just does the finish work by hand, assembly by hand. But I'm going to show you this guy. It's from 3G knives. Excellent. I like it. It's comfortable. For me, it's very comfortable. It's not my style of blade, but you know what? It works. It's good. Review on this already, and I might have to redo it because it wasn't that detailed, but it's an awesome, well made, awesome little knife, well made. Not the typical style I prefer to carry. This is a little, I'm out doing something I need something a little bit tougher. I'll bring this one out with me. Good little can. This could work as a good camp knife too. Honestly, it's the flat edge. You do like millwork or woodwork, trying to build a shelter. Maybe this is a great knife for it. It's that straighter edge that works well for it. Yeah, yeah. Other aspects I look for it's the handle material. People say is that really that important? It's like it can be. It's more like durability wise. So you want a durable knife, like a hard use EDC knife. I mean, you're not going to use some materials if you're handling. I mean, if you do, it's more of a dress formal type knife. If you use the material like C-Tac or something more nicer that kind of stands out for it. I mean, I don't have the one here, a C-Tac handle knife with me, but it's a material I kind of grasp it. Like even the little sword one I built is a great little one. It's wood handle. It's classy. It's traditional. You just want that for that type of carry. There's multiple. Okay. Yeah, it's like the Gerbers I have, the CRPT Teague I have, the Dragonfly. Okay. This is a handy little knife. I jump it out. This is around my neck. Type of deal. It's just so I know I have one with me. A backup. A backup's backup or a backup. It's just one of those things. I like going out. It's like it's not aggressive whatsoever. So, but yeah. And generally, like this is one of the rare times we'll do a show and tell. Just a solo show right now today. Um, so yeah, it's we're doing that. This is one of my big stalwart, my piece. And I mean, it's two knives that are, I find are always going to be, you're going to see two the small ones you're always going to see with me are these the little Uber and this the dragonfly. Another one you're going to see with me a lot. I carry quite a bit if getting to its little hidey routine on me, which this knife really likes to do once I'm good with. And there we go. There we go. I had it earlier, and now it's to do its little. I want to hide on. There you go. It'll be this guy in the sport. This the other one that's generally always going to be, along with lately certain reasons. But this used to be my main theory, and I buttered that deployment up. There we go. You had no problem. But this was always my pocket for the longest time. Uh, so comfort wise, awesome. There's nice. I don't carry. I have, but I don't like to carry just to like they're just don't have that functionality to them or ergonomics to them to carry all the time. Um, so yeah, I mean people on or EC Lone Wolf page group, those that is that great handle with one of the corkscrew. Um, it's more of a house letter opener really. It's to me it functions well, but I don't have a daily use there, and it's just like you know what, it's there. I have it. It's a collection. It's a knife I was aiming for in that company for a little while, and it's like maybe having interest from France and Ireland. There you go. A French knife from Moved to France, as far as I know. My research on it. So yeah. So our last episode last week, see and what you carry. So a lot of times, I've done over the years, I have to carry some of what I'm doing. So if we're doing a photography mission, of course, we camera equipment. That's always essential. Um, but you also need a little multi-tool and knife, just little things like that, little snacks, stuff like that. You're at the doing your photo missions. I had to. It's that's the one area a lot of people don't grasp. It's EDC is to me. It's what it should. What I follow, the mantra I follow is, or the philosophy I follow when it comes to EDC, is you carry for what you're doing that day, or you're planning to do. Have that little backup, little extra, little just in case type deal. So my photo mission EDC had a little survival kit in there, had my gear, two cameras on one doing all that, spare batteries, all 9 yards. Yes, I did carry two cameras with me on photo missions, and I did some very stupid stuff while carrying that equipment. Uh, so yeah, it's when you're aiming for a shot, you're not nothing can stop you getting so many shots some days. So I did it's like, all right, but you gotta also know when to bug out, get out of that area, and abort your mission. So you know if you realize you're not going to get the shot you want, you're just being tight quarters or something that's you don't feel when you say, okay, I can get out here. I don't feel this feels very unsafe. You have to know when to draw it, call it, to do it. So yeah, they're like so. Let's say a typical photo kit. Okay, in the photo mission for me in a photo mission. The second have the at the time I was doing it, I had the DX hat on my belt, on my weak side. Okay, so on my less dominant side, it's on there. Um, why did on less dominant side? Uh, It's if my strong side is injured, my weak side isn't. I can still reach and grab it from both sides. So if my strong hand up like this, I can still get it and do things with it with my strong side down. Plus, I have more stuff on my had more too much stuff on my already on my strong side, so I had no room to put it. So I had to go with my weaker side. So uh, that's the thing. It's placement. I always had overdue. I had the time a Max Edition Mongoose EDC bed. So it was an excellent little bag for what I did. It carried all my little non-photograph, non-camera equipment. It carried some camera equipment, more so the extra batteries, more of the snacks and survival kit, stuff like that. A couple changes of socks, maybe a couple changes of socks or whatever, and got wet. Feet got wet, that type of thing. Just snack, survival tin, up some water, just things like that. Waterification depends on where I am. I carry those stuff. So that's that kind of that mission. It really depends. It's really mission dependent too. So it's one of those things. It's between you have to kind of judge it. So you have 80. You have let's say about 45 pounds of the camera gear plus an extra 25, 30 pound, 20 pounds or so of non-photo gear, EDC gear. Like I use that EDC bag for also non-for photography as well as my car kit as well. So there you go. Um, so it really depends on mission. What your daily tasks are for that day is try to customize your work carry. So whatever. So the multi tool I personally love was the Leatherman ALX Charge ALX. So it's one of the this is the first gen had the electrical it's a butt collector crimps on it, which is one reason why I bought it. You never know you need electrical repairs. I'm horrible with stuff with an electrical system failing on me, so I like to fix it. Break wires, broken wires I can fix. And type of job I was doing at the time, I needed that crimper. Only toss it. So that's only got out if I wasn't close to a box that had actual proper crimpers. Those are last resort crimpers. So if you get a step in the strand middle of nowhere, you have electrical broken wires happens to say break or whatever, you can actually splice it or you have electrical connection or fence or whatever. You have the tool with you. You don't have to have your toolbox with you. Already on you. Type you up multi tool. What else can we talk with? Well, have we got our what I look for in gear? I look for something that feels the I have a I feel it in my hand. I'm not stressing my hand too much if it's too small. So that's just me personally. But at the same time, it's it's all individual. So I'm saying it's your preferences and how you select gear. It's that. It's how it's done. Also, too, it's if you're gonna be doing something, it's like okay, potentially this could happen. Boom. In Canada, U.S., anywhere in the world, we have different laws too. So you have to pick here within those. You're only allowed to get some carry certain things sometimes, um, especially in the UK. Yeah. So yeah, it's a little bit on the ridiculous side, in my opinion, but it's one of those things. Okay. Okay. Um, horrible for putting something down and it not staying where I want it. Sorry, guys. Um, there's Heister too, and it's everything about that. That's the key part. And I don't know what to say about a lot of things. And when it comes to gear wise, like, I can't tell you, okay, this Savivi is for you. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to say, okay, you feel it, handle it, don't judge it. You might be very surprised, maybe very disappointed. If you say, "Oh, that looks awesome, I'll buy it," like, you just get rid of it within a week. That's what you don't want. I mean, you want if you want a gear you're going to carry. I mean, this one, okay, I looked at it, it's like, okay, it's different, it's nice. It's like, hmm, okay. I didn't think I was going to buy it. Then somebody gave it to me as a gift. It was like somebody restarted in the community. And you see having that EDC plates handy. So this is one of them, and it's like I fell in love with it. I love this knife. I love that Brian Teague knife. Um, I said I'm thinking about getting rid of that CRPG Brian Teague. So who knows? I might down the road get rid of it sooner or later. Probably sooner, maybe later. I don't know yet. It's I don't want another. It's I'm soured from it because of who gave it to me, and so it's yeah, it just went downhill. Uh, so we're not going to talk about that. Um, so we're going to go to the page updates, a little more update what's happening with the page, channel, all this is we're working on it. We're building stuff. We're trying to get and working on finding a co-host. So later today, sometime this weekend, one of the potential people for it. I'll be having a little off-air kind of chat and get a kind of a flow going. See how we get a flow going between the two of us. See if it's going to work. I'm feeling it's going to work. Even so, hopefully, he has basically the knowledge I'm kind of hoping for. Uh, okay, and new person on here right now, Rico. How are you doing today?
Oh, pretty good, man. How's it going? I finally got the link to work on my phone.
Okay, yeah, it's yeah, I was just basically going over gear selection today's market. So just talking about some of the gear I have and what I picked up overall.
Very good.
We are live right now, so we're in time to see how this works. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like gear, it's so much. I can't even speak right now. There's so many different perspectives, or like we have our own preferences in gear, like what we look for.
Right, exactly.
That like what I like, you might not like that much. It's one of those things. So it's a very subjective. Here's something very subjective. Like a hooligan, CVV hooligan, I like. You might not like it. It's just one
Oh,
of those.
I love Civivis. Civivis are seriously, in my opinion, Civivis. A lot of these companies that are coming as imports, like QSP, Best Tech, all of these companies are producing knives that have such good quality to price point that American companies really can't compete with them.
Yeah, like I was talking about my old school, tried and true favorite line earlier in the show. Good old Spyderco Tenacious line.
I got the VV Appalachian Drifter actually today, S35 VN. Uh,
Ooh,
it's a double D10. Uh,
yeah. I mean, I was didn't never heard of Civivi until maybe last year.
yeah,
So I've been out of the market, out of the EDC game for a number of years due to personal issues, reasons. So I just got back into it, and friend, former friend, whatever I want to call him, to sent me a few knives to get me going again. And he sent me one of them. Ones he sent was the Sabine Hooligan, and it's a decent knife. I'm kind of impressed with it. It's a hell of a good slicer.
Mhm.
And in durability wise, like the type of work I do on the side, and it's just like I can cut through rubber
Yeah.
mats, tires, whatever with it, no problem. Not when they're on the car inflated. It's if you have to cut, you need a piece of rubber for whatever space or a quick fix or something to prevent something happening. You have to do it sometimes. So I mean, we better little introductions to both of us. Anyways, it's the first time we've actually talked face to face.
Right. Actually. Yep.
It's like I know my background was an aviation technician for a number of years, so I fixed commercial airliners and all the fun stuff over the years. Knife world, I started back in the knife world back in probably 2008, 2009, more so. Started getting into the EDC aspects of it, and yeah, it's for the work I needed a multi tool, the light, the whole 9 yards. So it's one of those things. I mean, your history of the EDC world is I don't have no idea. So
Yeah. I've been. Well, I actually have a few things going on. So I own a survival company, and we teach classes on knife safety, on like all kinds of things about knife steel, knife grind.
yeah,
You know, just basically everything about knives. Um, HRC, whatever. So plus not only that, but I'm a first responder. So I'm a volunteer fire department. I'm also a first aid instructor. I am a registered stop the bleed instructor. So I got into. I'm also a CERT coordinator. If you know what CERT is, Community Emergency Response Team. So all kinds of preparedness going on. So and to me, EDC is basically tier one prep. You know what I mean? So what
yeah,
you have on you, that's the first thing you're going to go for if something happens. So it's always have a knife, always have like a decent knife. No matter what you like, everybody should
yeah,
get what they like. Really, you shouldn't
yeah,
go by what people tell you.
yeah,
And just get whatever suits you. Honestly.
yeah. It's like I was talking about flashlights as well a little bit. Um, I have one Fennec. I need a new tail cap for it because it's kind of not working properly. So I'm not going to show that one again. I have the little like the E15.
Yep.
It's a small little light you can put in your little fifth pocket if you need to. But I have this little guy. It's rechargeable. It comes with the AAA replacement, so you carry it with you for other pieces that require batteries. You have spare batteries for your light at the same time. This is rechargeable.
Coast G22. I had one,
Yeah,
but I lost it, so I got a Coast.
this is only like this light here. It's Amazon special, $22 ish, 1200 lumen.
At 1200.
I,
Wow.
yeah, that's the reason why I
For
picked
20
this
bucks.
one.
That's what
22 bucks. Like,
I have another group on MeWe because I kind of got off of Facebook for a while when I was on MeWe, and I have a group called True Budget EDC, which I think that a lot of people are too hyper focused on. Oh, I got to have a $900 flashlight, or I got to have a Chris Reeves knife, and it's honestly it's really not.
it's
I don't know.
I,
Yeah,
I
it's ridiculous.
find that like I was talking about this with a friend of mine the other day, actually, from the one group I run, the Everyday Carry Canada International here on Facebook. And we're just chit chats about. I started another group with him. Issues with some of the admins decided to have a hissy fit,
Yeah.
and we got pulled off. They don't like our kind of our approach to EDC, which was get
Yeah.
type video.
Hunter, another thing too. I think people are
And
also. Oh, sorry, you went out.
oh, yeah, it's something that it's usually when I'm on connection with somebody and it's not working well. Uh, yeah, it's connection wise. Sometimes it's a little wonky on my end. So it's we had it and it's just like we started the group. Boom, it went good. It was going good. Brought him in. It was going good up till late last year. And two, he brought in two of his friends in and well, wiped out all my crew I brought in. I built up for the inner operation of the group, and they got rid of all of them. And it's just like so. I'm there. standing against three guys, and they're two of them are very knowledgeable, but they're
Hmm?
not very decent people, from what I found. So
Yeah.
I should have trusted my gut, but I didn't. So it's like I said, you know what? Let's walk. I'm walking away now and doing
Yeah.
something better. I mean, I take what I learned from them and go forward. So that's
Right.
where how Everyday Carry Canada came into fruition was because, well, I'm getting
That's uh that's
screwed over,
awesome.
build something, and
Yeah.
it's the gear wise. It's like I've scanned through the little VDC last night and a little bit this morning and built what I wanted EC Canada. It was kind of the same kind of premise, and it kind of went away from that. So, but yeah, it's Everyday Carry, the new group. I'm trying to build it into that one area to let's educate the people, like educate people.
Yeah.
That's what
Absolutely.
we're here for. I mean, that's why I created EC Canada in the first place was to educate. And I try to do that. I try to learn from everybody. If you have
Well,
like, oh,
like you were saying, certain people just they're not. I don't know if they're not good people, but I don't know, they think they know everything type of thing. I was in a larger company that is actually in the prepping community, and I was they're knife expert. I hate using the word expert, but that's what they told me to write on my Facebook post. So I got out of that group because they were just going a different direction. You know what I mean? So I understand what you're talking about with that, where you'll get in a group and then you got to have a $900 knife or you're not good enough.
yeah,
Or it just to me it is. There's no bad steel. There's only steel bad for the job that you're doing. Use what
yeah,
you want. Use what you want to use because you got something I don't like it. It's not my point. I don't have to carry it. Like you know what I mean?
yeah.
So
It's. I mean, they're saying, oh, you need to have this $500 knife or $1,000 knife, and it's like, why?
I would
I can
never
buy
dollar
a
knife.
$20 gas station knife that could do the same job, probably as good or better.
Right? Yeah. There's a lot of
If
honestly.
it wears out, it breaks, I
Right?
walk back over to the same gas station again, buy the same knife
Yeah. There's
instead of being out
a lot of
two
cheap.
thousand dollars.
2000. Well, I don't mean to use the word cheap actually. Just because it's budget doesn't mean it's cheap. A lot of people say, "Oh, you got a cheap knife." No, it's not cheap. It's just a budget knife. Like I have a $20 QSP Parrot that's fantastic. Like you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, like where's that one I have? Like this little Gerber.
oh, there you go. That's a nice one. That's I have quite a few
I've,
Gerbers actually. I have one on me actually on my belt, the Gerber Freeman, that I carry like every day for the past 5 years. For a larger carry in case I need to do something bigger than the one I have in my pocket. So,
yeah, I mean this is my fifth pocket carry. I pulled it out.
yep.
Where's I'm missing a knife. I totally forgot where I had it. It was like, oh shoot, it's my pocket. Okay,
Yeah.
and it's just like, yeah, it's
EDC
like,
is
well,
definitely personal to people. Like I carry challenge coins. I have a challenge coin. I carry a flashlight. I carry a pen. I carry a knife. Like you know what I mean?
yeah.
There's Hanks. There's like so much. I mean, I have an EDC bag full of medical supplies in case you never know. You know what I mean?
I had to pull. I pulled my. I have a tendency to sprain my twist ankles, my knees, problematic with my knees. So I have like the tensor band. Just if it gets into I'm out, I don't have the braces on my knee. I can just wrap it up and I can go on, no problem. Or I twist my ankle, which on sidewalks you're not paying attention, or around here they kind of just you
Right.
roll it. It's like, oh crap! I've done it multiple times, so it's never fun. But I mean, a lot of people. I mean, the other group, a couple of people who were hated that this knife, good old
Sport. I have
Swords.
an exact knife. It's just in my bag. I have a roll up bag. I put it in. I bought the same color. The only thing is, it's 15N20 steel, so it's high. It's all carbon, and it was rusted. No matter what I did, I oiled it. It didn't matter. So I ended up just dipping it in vinegar for 15 minutes to acid etch it. But that's an
Yeah,
awesome knife, man. It's a convex grind. It's not the hardest steel in the world, but you know what? It's
it.
sharp. I use it to cut cord for my weed whacker. It's awesome.
Yeah, I was the person who I bought the knife from. Uh, he's on the Every Canada group. And we were talking about budget knives under, I think it was $50 or something like
Yep.
that. So there's three of us that all said
Yeah.
Ford. And I said, you know what? From my experience with it in the last couple months, I've only had it for a few months now. I say it's worth 30 times more what I paid for it. It's
Yeah. That's
got
good.
me out of situations, so that's why it's always on me. That actually, and when I bought the one, he sent me another piece, and some. Actually, I bought this one. He sent me this as a little. While I'm working on this one,
Hmm.
it's the same basic thing, but I just sanded the handles down, made the handles myself, and put it
Yeah.
together.
It's
So
literally
this,
it's literally the acronym KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. With the swords, it's literally
yeah,
two scales, two screws, a knife blade. It's it. That's all you need. Like, you know what I mean? You don't. There's not even any liners in it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
exactly. It's I learned that honestly. It's so simple. This knife is so simple, so and from where when it was designed back in the 1600s, that's the
Actually,
oldest design is.
actually, the friction folder itself has been found in Roman times. They found friction folders that are about 2,000 years old, from actually back to the first century B or AD. So
Yeah,
the whole idea of a friction folder, I think
is
that one, like you said, is like for sword has been around like 400 years or something, but
yeah,
the actual knife design has been around for 2,000 years. So
yeah.
if it weren't for the Romans, you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Yeah, I've had like years ago. I got a book for my birthday on the history of knives,
Yep.
history knife design, and I was like, okay. When I see a certain knife, like, I'm trying to think of the book. I don't have the book
Yep.
handy anymore, and the knives throughout the history. It's like when I saw this one. It's like, I want okay. I'm gonna buy that one. I remember seeing
You,
it. It's like,
you're actually you're in Canada, right?
yes,
So I'm into the North American fur trade. It started in Hudson's Bay, St. Lawrence River. So I've started collecting a lot of knives that are period like real, that are realistic, like the Ontario Old Hickory. They're actually that knife is hardly changed in 400 years. Like, it's basically the same thing. It's, two
yeah,
scales, two rivets, and a piece of metal. That's it. You know what I mean? So there's all of those butcher knives that have been around for 400 or 500 years. When the French first came to Canada, when it was called New France, like, you know what
yeah,
I mean? So there's a lot
and
of, like, the swords, like slip joints, like the butcher knives. They've been around for hundreds of years.
yeah. I've when I look, when I do, I as a when I can't sleep or whatever, I kind of grab out my notebook and I
Yeah.
just kind of put okay in my head what kind of knife would I like, or and I
Yeah.
draw it out
Yep.
so I get the profile. I do fixed blades, so
Yeah.
I don't have enough knowledge to do the folders yet. I don't want
Yeah.
to
Folders are.
attempt. I don't want to attempt those just yet, but I draw it out and I come up with. I designed a few of them actually over that one's a nice skinny half-inch, three-quarter-inch overall like width. It's a narrow, small little short guy. I've designed some more bigger full chopper type,
There you go.
more Bushman style, like the ones I would love. I always wanted. So it's just like one of those. I just try to look at from a traditional standpoint, what I remember from history. I'll sit on my computer and just pull out historical knives from this era, designs from this era, to kind of get a rough idea
Yeah.
and
Well, that's
just
what I.
get me refresh my memory on shapes and kind of lines and all this. That's what I look for is kind of
I
that artistic aspect.
I lay in bed at night and study on knife history. So, like, if I have a specific type of knife, like I looked up sword, okay, 400 years ago. I looked up butcher knife. I read a lot of books on mountain men and traditional stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I mean, that's basically. So when people say, "Oh my God, you know so much about knives," well, all I do is read about them. So I mean, you kind of start to.
it's it's like you just have to know. It's like even one of the reviews I'll be working on this coming week today or later on the week next week is a friend of mine's knife actually from about 20 years ago ish. Was that Buck Alpha Hunter, the 279?
Yep.
Uh, I talked about last night. I think I talked about earlier too.
There's butcher.
It's yeah. We talked about it a little bit last night. What I liked about, what I disliked about it, and was like he saw every point I made about the knife. He was like, "You're right. Yeah, that had been a lot of an issue for it. Was the liner, the lock on it was so flimsy." It's like the lanyard hole is nice and big, which you get most other knives. It's puny if it even has one. Uh,
Yeah,
it's just one of
I have a
those things.
kid on this one actually.
I think the only knife I had a lanyard on actually fell off the other day was the 3G knife I have from Guy Bedingfield,
Yeah, I only have
which
one lanyard.
is
It's a scout knife that I have. It's actually a slip joint, so it's a pocket knife. It has nothing. It's just it's a Boker slip joint.
ooh, Bokers. I actually that's one
Boker,
company I love.
I love Bokers,
Actually,
but like 300-400 bucks. You know what I mean? I'm like, God, dude. Like I can't.
yeah,
Not that I can't pay for one. I can't justify it because for $400 I can get four knives. Like, you know what I mean? So I think,
or 8 or 10 or whatever. Yeah,
yeah, right, exactly. Whatever your budget is. Like this knife, I went to South Carolina on vacation and I got it because I was looking. This was $100. This knife. So I mean that's kind of up there. But everybody again with the budget has a different budget. Like your budget
yeah,
might be $50. My budget knives to me are like I don't know 50 to 150. That's it. I'm not going higher than that. Like you know what I
yeah,
mean? Anything lower than 50 is like super budget, but they're still super awesome knives like the VV Elementum or like the QSP line. Um, there's a lot of knives. I mean, SOG. There's so many knives, man. I literally was writing down just like knife companies one day, and I just stopped after like 20 something. I was
there's
like
so many of them.
yeah,
I mean,
and
I remember the first rifle.
all the time too. So like every day, I look at. Here's a good idea. If you go on knifecenter.com, I don't agree with everything that they put on there, but it's good because every week they come out with the new knives that come out. So at least you can get an idea of what's out there. I mean, some of them are like absolutely ridiculously priced. I mean, I've seen $2,000 knives on there. It's not
Yeah,
necessary. You know what I mean? But at least you can say, hey, I like that brand, so I go look it up. Whatever. I do that a lot.
yeah. I remember. What was it? There one knife, my most expensive knife I think I have. I would probably say it's the 3G one,
Yep.
and it's such a well made knife. The only problem is when I got the edge with it wasn't the greatest, so I'm very finicky and picky with the edge. I don't care what knife it is. I only found one knife company that will not touch the factory edge until it needs it, and that's Buck.
Yep.
I don't know what they do with their edges, but they do an outstanding job with them.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Is Buck is something else, man. Because my daughter bought me a open season gut hook skinner, and I barely touched it, and it cut me. Like I didn't even. I'm serious. I didn't even know it cut me. Like
yeah, I remember, was it 2013, 2014 ish? I bought a Spyderco Manics lightweight translucent, the blue handle FRN handle one. Uh, just because of I saw it, and I dropped it in the snowbank for the winter, found it in the spring, not a speck of rust on it. And that's what I was kind of going for.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm going to buy this knife. I want this knife because of this. So I got the knife, and Spyderco, their edges are okay generally from the factory.
Yep.
It's hit and miss sometimes, but I guess I got the right Manics too,
Yep.
because that edge was pristine when I got it.
And I hate to cut you short, but I'm gonna have to go. I will. Are you gonna be on later? Because I'll try to get on later.
I'll probably be on and off today, so I'm just gonna
I
wrap
gotta
this
go.
up and
Tomorrow's Mother's Day. I gotta go before I get killed.
no
Speaking all
worries.
night.
So yeah, and on that note, guys, have a great day and
Yeah, man.
enjoy your
I'll be
rest of
back
your
on later.
enjoy your
I'll
weekend.
look
So yeah, this